Alright. I've secured Camp Freedom 2. And I'm getting ready to head on back. It is sprinkling slightly. You can hear the others. And that bird. By the way, I was getting some more water bottled up here and heard a bird making a noise from the hut. So I'm assuming that was the mama bird trying to draw me away from her babies, the eggs. Anyhow, we're going to try to make it across this bridge here and see if we can't start getting, I hope it's not too slippery here. Well, the good news is the bridge is a lot more stable than it was yesterday, because we obviously have cross beams that we can sort of stand on. It's a little bit wobbly, but it's not broken. So it should be a lot better once I get the panels in place. Look at all this rainwater. I think it's getting deeper. Oh, it's gone down a bit actually. From yesterday, I think it went down a little bit, because it didn't rain as bad. Although it's getting ready to pour right now. See all the animals here. Snakes and stuff is what I'm worried about, but typically when it's wet, the snakes try to, I think they try to stay on dry grounds, wherever they can find it. Alright. It's really weird looking at how close the yurt is to the actual cul-de-sac. The first time I was back here, I actually got lost back here. But now that I'm familiar with the area, it takes like 2 minutes to walk over here, 3 minutes maybe, or less. My wife brought out some, I think squash or something to grow out here. So if you see these and you come by here, don't step on them. That's squash. And there's some more right here by this pile. There might even be more there, but I buried it with my son and didn't know. And there was some here right along the yurt, but I stepped through it the other day trying to repair the roof. Which, woohoo, it's still up. That's good news. So let's go check inside and see. Looks like our fencing held up. Thing about it is it didn't really storm yesterday. I mean, it's been raining like this, but it hasn't been storming like it had been all week, the last 2 weeks. So I'm not surprised that the yurt is still intact. It looks like our temporary roof fix is still holding up. I would like to get some more fronds and try to make the structure even stronger, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do it because everything's so wet. All the fronds are wet. Now, our little friend over there, see that hole right there? I don't know if it got bigger or not, but that's, I think, our visitor. I don't know if that's the visitor that's been going to the camp itself, Camp Freedom 2, but he lives right here, right by the yurt. Isn't that funny? But everything looks like it was as I left it, not yesterday, but the day before. And the structure is still there. I do see some water on one of the tables, and I don't know if you can hear that. The rain is starting to come down, so I'm gonna try to get in here. Hopefully there's not a snake or something in here. Some water has made it through up here, through the front here, and this part is still wet, which means water is leaking down right here at this spot, which is the spot I had left for things to dry. This is somewhat dry. This has looks like a wet spot still in the center here. And this spot is mostly dry here. So we're going to go ahead and try to lay the bed out and try to get things to dry somewhat. And try to tackle the area where water is running. I think this is where water may be coming down. see that. We're gonna have to fix all these little leaks here. That's why, see, we can see the drip here. This is where water's dripping down from. It's coming in right here and dripping down. So being here when it's raining will allow me to kind of seal where the water's dripping in. I can hear the mosquitoes buzzing around my head, so I might be able to check out my air freshener solution to getting rid of the mosquitoes, see if that actually works. But in the meantime, see if there's any wet spots here on the bed. Most of it looks dry. The mildew's mostly gone, though there is still some. I think I'm gonna flip the board upside down. Just try to reorganize everything again. Interesting, look at that. I don't know if you can see that. That looks like mold or something. It's weird. Some kind of mold or fungus is growing on there. So I'm gonna have to brush that off and spray it down with more the chlorine mix. We'll deal with that later. But definitely, look at that. That is some kind of weird moldy fungus thing that looks like pink powder. I don't see any on this though. So, and I don't know if you can see that this is all discolored here. Looks like it turned orangish. I think the areas where it turned to orange is where I sprayed the bleach. So we got rid of the mold, but it turned everything kind of orange. So I'd rather have the orange thing than the mold, that's for sure.